Okay, first thing I want to say is the number one thing I was wondering about was whether or not I should even share these ALCs that I found. Um, I know I said I was going to be moving to the Cronus Zen, but something was bugging me about the Armor X Pro. I was like, I got to get this down. I need to get this down. So I kept working and kept working and kept working. Now, these ALC settings, the ones that I'm about to post now, are the best ALC settings, hands down, anywhere. And I'm willing to guarantee that. My thing is, all right, so we're gonna go by the moral code. The moral code is the core of who you are as a person. Um, when you talk about morals, you talk about, okay, you love your mom, you love your dad, and you'll do whatever it takes to make sure that nothing happens to them, and you're gonna take care of them. Your dog, your pet alligator, cat, whatever. I even respect people that only love their objects, your car, your house, or whatever object you might love. Okay, so we going on the moral code. If I'm saying if I should be saying when you try these settings, immediately after you try these settings, the only thing I'm asking for, you have to like and subscribe. That's it. That's the only thing I'm asking for. It don't cost nothing. It ain't about that. It's just about, look, these settings right here, what I found, are going to make the average player a better player. And if you are better than average, then shame on you for using these ALCs, because you shouldn't even be using them. If you're above average, then all right, I'll put it like this. So whenever I test something, I test it in the firing range and I test it in game. Test it in the firing range. In the firing range, I intentionally miss targets to watch the percentage numbers, to see how far they'll go down or whatever. Even me missing targets on purpose, it still brought back ridiculous numbers, getting right back the numbers starting to climb when I started to halfway aim at targets. Um, I just finished the game, and that's another reason why I'm kind of out of breath. This is this is groundbreaking for me. Um, so I just finished the game, and some people, when you play the game, you don't have the confidence that other people have. A lot of people have they got more confidence than they have skills. Some people don't have that confidence, but their skills is not that bad. Me, I'm a strategist. I like to work out the strategy, and I like for everybody to be on the same page. Speaking of that, if you already have a 3-man team and all three of you use these ALC settings, I guarantee you will stomp the lobby. You're going to stomp these matches like it's nothing. And that's how, and I'm guaranteeing, that's why I say, hey, I'm not the like and subscribe guy, but I got to get something for it, because me, I was going to keep the shit to myself. I'm thinking to myself, look, I'll keep it to myself, and I could see how far this take me as being a better player. But then, like I say, if you got any type of morals about yourself, that's not going to sit well with you at the end of the day. Yeah, you probably could do it, but it's gonna be one of those things in the back of your mind where you didn't do the right thing. So, like I said, the same way that I'm gonna do what's morally right and roll this out to my people and people who come past and see the channel and say, oh, all right, this is decent or whatever. This is not decent. These settings should be under lock and key, and I'm going to explain to you why. It doesn't matter if you're on a Cronus Zen. It doesn't matter if you're on an Armor X Pro. It doesn't matter if you don't have neither of these or any other thing. None of that matters. And it's only one it's only one it's only one portion of the settings that you need in order for this to work for you. And that's the ridiculous thing, how I found it and how I tested it out and everything. And we're gonna go over that right now. Um, we're gonna go over that right now. But just like I said, morally, you have a moral responsibility to like and subscribe if these settings are as great and as good as I say they are. If you feel that power and you feel like holy shit, then you have to come back and like and subscribe. I'm sorry, I gotta ask for something. I gotta get, because I'm doing the morally right thing. I need you to do the morally right thing too. So all that being said, let's get over here, and that's a calendar. You don't need to see that. Um, so all right, first I'm gonna start with this because a lot of people are gonna click off this video just for the sentence right after I put them up here. But when we start with this right here, this was in the firing range, and like I said, I was intentionally trying to miss the target. 939 headshots. Not you don't even understand, and that's only out of 173 kills. You don't even understand uh the way that this was working out in the firing range. You don't even understand. I can't even explain. You're gonna find out when you test it out. You're gonna see yourself. I do advise you to practice with these settings a little bit. I don't. I don't think jumping right into a game would be the greatest thing. I think some practice with it would be real good. Um, okay, remember these are my settings, but you don't need everything that I've got. You don't have to change anything in here that is your preference. Uh, other than the ADS yaw speed, the ADS pitch speed, the ADS turning extra yaw, and the ADS turning extra pitch. That has to be these values and these numbers exactly. Put these values, put these numbers in, have these exactly, and trust and believe. Everything else up top, my yaw, my pitch, and my turn next yaw and everything, all that stuff, that's preference for me. You don't have to have those. That's going to be a high sensitivity. So you don't have to do that if you like playing at low sense. Don't even change that if you like the sensitivity that you have as far as your movement. If you like the way your movement is, leave it the way it is. The only thing that you need to touch is the ADS. Make sure these ADS values are exactly what you see here. And like I said, like and subscribe, because I know everybody that's morally sound, that's a morally sound person, you're gonna come back and like and subscribe because it's the moral thing to do. All right. So these still my settings. Somebody out there might feel like they like a high sensitivity also. But this is letting you see my dead zone, outer threshold. I have zero response curve. The reason why it's on zero response curve, you might have to if you're going to use my settings and you don't have the ArmX Pro, you're going to have to put some response curve in there, because my response curve is coming from the ArmX Pro, from the app. That 3 up top is a fat 3, not the skinny 3, the fat 3, and outer threshold is a skinny 2. And the reason why I say that is because it's more than one 3, it's more than one 2, and we discussed that in some of my other videos, how you have to get on that orange line, and depending on if you're trying to go to the left or the right, you have to be right on that orange line, and you have to move it just that little teeny bit, and it might be the same number, but like I said, the bar will move, the orange bar will move, and that's that. Those are two things that I really wanted to cover, and I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to finish this up with some video, and like I said, those ALCs, just the ADS, just the ADS. If you like the way that your movement is, and you like the way that you move around the map already, don't worry about the top part. Just make sure you do the ADS part. And when I say trust and believe me, bro, you have no idea, dog. I was like, yo, I'm gonna keep this to myself. I'm not telling nobody Nathan. And then I was like, no, that's not the right thing to do. That's not somebody that's a stand-up guy. They wouldn't do that. So everybody, like I said, this is gonna be what the first part of the video, and then I'm gonna make sure that I have some probably some gameplay and a little bit more video at the back end of this. The people that's sticking around this far, the Armor X Pro, what I've been working with the Armor X Pro is jitter aim. So we're gonna go into that, and once again I left my controller over at the desk, so you gotta bear with me. Look, anybody that knows me knows that this is like what, the third, fourth time I've done this. I left my controller over there, but you have to have your controller turned on in order to access the app. And I'm doing that now. I'm turning this controller on to access the app, and we're gonna go over the Armor X Pro. We're gonna go over the Armor X Pro settings for jitter aim. And jitter aiming is basically that's basically where your aim down sights is bouncing back and forth real fast. And I'm gonna have video of that. I'm gonna put video of this inside of this video. That's crazy, but that's what it is. I'm not gonna touch anything in here. Like I said, I'm out of breath because I'm so excited. This is like a big find to me. All right, so Armor X Pro people, sensor sensitivity is on 61. The reason it's on 61 is because that's the highest sensitivity I could get and still control my aim while I was in the firing range and in game. Because you'll see when you use this, you're gonna find out that you might have to turn that down a little bit. I know from anywhere from 50 to 61 is outstanding, and for people like me that don't hip fire, I don't hip fire at all. Basically, if you ever watch any of my games or watch me play, it doesn't matter how far or how close I am to the enemy, I'm aiming down sights. I have a real big problem with hip firing because when I started playing the game, all I did was hip fire, and I wouldn't aim down sights. So I practiced so long how to aim down sights that it's hard for me to hip fire now, which is basically ridiculous. All right, so sensor sensitivity on 61. Sensor horizontal vertical ratio is on 1.9. That's pretty decent from what I've found and what I play in game. Response curve is at 120. And the dead zone compensation I have on 55. Remember, the dead zone compensation is the bar at the bottom, the orange bar going up at the bottom. Your response curve is the line going across. The line going across, the reason why I had to put response curve on here is because I don't have response curve on in game. So I had to use this response curve in here because that sensor sensitivity and by my settings being so low in game, the outer threshold and dead zone being so low in game, you have to have something, and you'll find out when you actually try to move around. It's still a little bit jumpy. All right, so we go down. Motion control switch display. I'm not using that. I'm actually using not the global switch, but the responsive switch. We're using the responsive switch on the right stick. The buttons that need to be lit up: LB, LT, AB, XY, RB, RT. All those buttons need to be orange and lit up. And moving right along to the sticks. 0 dead zone on both sticks. You know we don't play with dead zone on the sticks because that interferes with the performance that we're going to get. So customize, of course. The response curve, left stick, 17, 17, 20, 100. And that's what we have on the left stick. And we're going to move along to the right stick. Wait a minute. 0 dead zone. Everybody, 0 dead zone. You don't want no dead zone on the stick. You don't want no delayed performance. All right. Right stick, response curve, output, 30, 34, 31, 100. And these are the values that we need on the sticks. So we did the left stick, we did the right stick. Now we're moving to the trigger. Trigger hasn't changed. Left trigger dead zone is on 1. Right trigger dead zone is on 1. Hair trigger for both. Left trigger, right trigger, both lit up for hair trigger. We go to key maps. And key maps, I've got turbo for the left trigger and the right trigger, but those are to the mappable buttons underneath the bottom of the Armor X Pro. And we all know what they do. And if you don't, you can get in the firing range and see. But the left trigger, that's when you aim down sights, and that'll be spinning in circles and all over the place. And the right trigger is turbo. Okay, so we're gonna come out of here, I believe. Let me make sure we covered everything. Yeah, we covered everything in here. So we're gonna come out of here, and I don't like the way I came out of there, so I gotta find a way to hit save because I gotta save this. I'm not gonna play no games. Make sure you, when you leave out of the app, make sure you save. Make sure you save when you leave out the app, because you don't want it to change and go back to something, and then you're wondering why my settings they don't feel right and they just off. Make sure when you come out of the app for the Armor X Pro, make sure you hit save. That way, when you hit save and you go to this next screen, whether or not to disconnect the device, it's okay to disconnect the device because you saved that information to the device. So we can hit OK. Man, when I tell you, I'm just feeling it right now. And like I said, we're going off people's individual moral values. If you got any type of moral value about yourself, you're going to end up liking and subscribing, especially after you see. Now a lot of y'all could do the YouTube video on your phone while you in game. So like I said, there's no reason for you not to like and subscribe. And I'll put these ALCS settings up against anybody. And yeah, that's a threat, a challenge, a promise, whatever you want to call it. I will put these ALC settings up against anybody. Because what it does, now I'm going to brag a little bit. What I found, what these ALC settings do are, number one, it locks onto the target. Number two, it I don't know how to describe it, but when you use these settings, it kind of pulls you forward into a rhythm while you're on target. And I know it don't make sense. It's just not as profound with the single fire weapons as it is with an automatic. The R99, the car, the flatline, the R301, whichever the alternator, the prowler, whatever one of these, whatever weapon that you are accustomed to and that you feel is your go-to weapon, you're going to feel the change immediately. When I say immediately, I'm talking about when you start playing the game and your confidence is going to go through the roof. My confidence is through the roof right now. That's how good these are. That's why I could say, yeah, I'll put these ALC settings up against any settings, anywhere, anytime. And trust and believe, there's nothing more sticky. There is nothing more on target than these settings right here. One other thing we got to go over, and I'm going to cut this short after we do this one thing. So it's been brought to my attention that the compensation, your melee compensation. Let me see if I got it in here. I might not have it in here. No. Okay. So, all right. So you see these settings right here at the very bottom. At the very bottom is target compensation. When you go down, I'm not scrolling down because I'm on my phone, but when you scroll down to target compensation, the melee target compensation, make sure that that's off. It's been brought to my attention, and it is true that when you have melee compensation on, what happens is when you close to a target and y'all are close up, it slows you down even more than what you would be if it was off. So if you're just swinging your fist, yeah, that's fine, but you don't need that on. You need to turn the melee compensation, target compensation off, because it affects your aim when you're actually shooting at somebody at a close distance. And I saw that in a video, and like I said, I'm not sure if that's Otter or somebody else. It could be somebody else, but turn the melee target compensation, turn that off because it affects your aim at close range. That's real important. All right, so we're gonna end this here, and like I said, y'all, look, you got a moral obligation to like and subscribe because I don't care who set. You could bring anybody settings you want and tell me and be like, yo, shiz. Well, I think these is better. I would test them joints out I would test them out myself. And if they are, I have a moral obligation to let you know, okay, yeah, you were right. But these right here, there is nothing. There is nothing, no one, nobody that has anything as good as this right here. Like Cat Williams said in his thing, this shit right here, nigga. This shit right here. Don't play with me, dog. Don't play with me. Seriously. All right, y'all. Look, I'm gonna go. I'm hype as shit. If you watch any of my videos, you never hear me this hype, this out of breath about anything. So yeah, I feel really good. I'm feeling myself. I cracked the code that I thought was gonna pretty much just remain unknown. Like all these different ALCs and everybody's this and everybody's that. And don't get me wrong, people's ALCs are good, but they can't do this. They can't do this guaranteed. That I guarantee you. I guarantee you. These ADS ALC settings right here. Use these right here. And maybe one day in the future we'll have a talk and we'll talk about what the most important part and what the hardest part of finding these ALCs was. Maybe someday in the future, but not right now. But everybody have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and make sure you take care of yourself and take care of each other. And if you out there stomping on people and these gave you that confidence and you hitting headshots like it's ridiculous, come back, comment, tell me. Let me know. Shiz, yo, this shit is the bomb. Come back and tell me, because I'm having a ball. I'm having a ball. I want everybody else to have a ball. And like I said, if you got a 3-man team and y'all all use these ALC settings, holy shit. It's a brand new day. That's all I could say. All right, everybody.
Reloading.
Go here, fellas.
I'm taking fire.
Change positive here.
Enemy down. Reloading. Shields are recharged.
That was the last one in the...
My hunt